This is an Ace Pro 2. It's got all sorts of video modes, including photography, so you can take pictures with it. But whenever I've tried to take pictures with it, I have to hold it like this, and when I press the shutter button, it's stiff, so it kind of jerks around like this. So it really makes me think, it's like, there really is no point to use this as a camera to take pictures. Or is there? What I have right here is the Street Shot Aluminum Set Aegis Pro. Now that's quite a mouthful for a camera grip. But here it is, right on the box. So it's not really a case, it's more of a photography grip and cage that will help you take pictures in a little easier way with your action camera, specifically the Ace Pro 2. Now I've seen a lot of these from TELESIN for the other action cameras like DJI and GoPro, but this is the first time I've seen one actually created for the Ace Pro 2. Maybe they're out there already, I just haven't found any videos on it, but TELESIN sent me this to try it out, take it apart, review it, kind of see what I think about it. So let's look at the components of this kit and talk about them. Okay, here's the setup for the camera grip. You get a cage, you get a handle, this lever that presses the shutter button, and a wrist strap. So let's put the cage on first. You open it up by pressing this top button here, swings open, and you slide the camera in. Make sure that the logo's on the top facing forward. So here's the camera in the cage, so it offers a extra layer of protection in case you drop it. So the cage alone is pretty nice. On this side, there's the power button and the door that has access to the USB port and the SD card holder. You can still have access to the display screen on the camera here. On this side, you have some mount access. This is a 3/4 mount that you can use if you want to put a selfie stick onto it. You can also use this universal mount from Insta360. Fits on like this. So now you can shoot in horizontal mode if you want. You also still have access to the mount at the base of the camera. So you can shoot like this. If you want to change the battery and you don't want to take the cage off, you just hit this silver button right here. And this door swings open. And now you have access to the battery. Just like that. All right. Next piece is the handle. This is this screw right here. Goes into this quarter turn here. Also on the top, you have, let's see if this works, you have this little magnetic spot for what I'll just call a rudimentary screwdriver used to tighten the screw. You also have a slot for an extra SD card. Fits in right here, and you can push it in. Get in there. Stubborn. There we go. Now it's in. Alright, so let's attach the handle. Because I need the screwdriver. This is a little tedious, as you can tell. Alright, it's in place. Now you can hold the camera just like this. Pretty handy. Now for the shutter button lever. The frame has a cold shoe mount. That's where this little lever slides into. Don't make me a liar here. There we go. Now the lever also has a cold shoe mount, so you can still put a microphone or a light on here if you want. Now, just like everybody who reviews this thing or these types of cameras, you click the shutter button lever for that satisfying click. And finally, you get this wrist strap. Just goes right in here. And to no one's surprise, it loops through here. And now it's attached. Now on mine, this piece of plastic right here is kind of loose, doesn't really stay on real nice. So this wrist strap isn't the most robust thing, but it does work. It does keep your wrist on. Keep it on your wrist, and you're good to go. Okay, so why do we really care about this sort of cage? I kind of hinted at it at the beginning of the video where with this grip, you can now take much steadier shots. You have easier access to the shutter button. And all in all, it just gives you a more DSLR-like experience. Now, don't get me wrong. This is not a DSLR. It doesn't turn your action camera into a DSLR. It's strictly a way to take pictures in a little more controlled state than you would if you just had the camera itself. So let's remember, this TELESIN Street Shot cage and grip is a lot like the Insta360's Xplorer Grip. And again, don't confuse it with the Xplorer Grip Pro because they're not competitors. They're different. This is just the Xplorer Grip comparison. Why would you pick this over the version from Insta360? Well, the big thing for me is the price. I mean, this is less expensive than the version from Insta360. Pricing wise, I've seen this cage, this TELESIN grip, kind of hover around $70 to $80. Insta360's is about $80. So TELESIN is a little cheaper, but I kind of mentioned that this wrist strap is a little flaky from TELESIN. This plastic piece right here slides off pretty easily, and it's just kind of a little wonky. The wrist strap from Insta360 is much, much better than this one. This is kind of an afterthought. Insta360 almost looks like a forethought. But is that enough to make you say, ooh, well, I need that to make the price difference make sense? I don't think so. But if you're an Insta360 loyal customer and you really want to stick to their products, then, the amount more money you're going to pay for this from Insta360 isn't that much more. But if you really want to just kind of get the exact same form factor and the exact same results, then get this at a cheaper price. I mean, it just kind of makes sense to me. But, hey, it's your money. You do what you want. So I guess my question is, would I buy something like this? Because remember, TELESIN sent it to me to try out. Thanks, TELESIN. Had fun with it. Appreciate it. I probably would, because I've had bad luck with taking pictures, and this will help me take better pictures, hopefully, in the future. So now that we've talked all about this cage, and it helps you take pictures, well, let's look at some pictures I've taken and see what it looks like. I mean, I'm not an expert photographer, but I can point and click with the best of them. Now, will these pictures be any better? I don't know. I took a bunch. Let's walk through a few. Well, we are not off to a good start. As you can see, I am not used to taking pictures with a wide-angle lens. I think this is Mega View. You can see my hands are still in the image, and this is 4:3 mode. See what happens next. Okay, so I don't know. This might be Ultra. I can't remember which, but at least my hands aren't in it as much. Probably ought to crop that down just a tad. Okay, so this is just flat or linear mode. So there's no extended use of the lens. So I think this is more like a normal picture. Again, just like the others, this is in 4:3 mode. Hey, it's a beautiful winter day and there's some water. The grass is dead, it's muddy, it's a little overcast. Not very appealing, I'd say. Now here's the same picture, but this is by 16:9. And it's still flat, and you see more of the lake. But again, my hand's not there, and but it makes it a lot easier to take the picture when you have something to hold on to. What's next? Okay, here's a series where you can take a JPEG and RAW together. So this is just a regular old JPEG. Nothing very fancy in this picture, just whatever came right out of the camera. All right, so this is the RAW image. You know, I guess there's just absolutely nothing done to this picture. It's all up to me. It's all up to the color editor to make this look decent. And you can even tell on the right, there's my hands again. Okay, so here I am in DaVinci Resolve, and I just hit the auto balance. So I just let the computer do all the coloration. I cropped a little bit off to get rid of the hand and centered the picture, so it's not awful. And here's the flag. It's got some colors, red, white, and blue, and some blue sky behind it. So it's a nice little change of pace with colors, not the dreary colors from the lake. Now we have a little bit of something to look at. And finally, here's a hummingbird feeder with some different colors in it. And it looks like this is in Mega View or Ultra View. It's just got that curved effect to it. So there you go. Okay, so really, what's the final takeaway from this setup here? If you want to use the Ace Pro 2 for photography style stills and using their 50 megapixel sensor, then this style of grip is really useful for that. If you want the best deal for that experience, TELESIN wins. If you want to stay all in with Insta360, then get their Xplorer Grip. Like I said, the experience overall is probably the same. I don't have an Xplorer Grip, so I can't definitively say that's true, but of all the reviews I've seen and how they've put it all together, they look an awful lot alike. So I guess on that note, think about this. You might have some fun with it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, so remember this TELESIN Street Grip. Is that what they call it? No. 3, 2, 1. So let's remember this TELESIN Street Shot aluminum set Aegis Pro. What I have 3, 2, 1. What I have right here is the Street Shot 3, 2, 1. What I have right here is the Street 3, 2, 1. What I have right here is the Street Shot aluminum set. Damn it. 3, 2, 1. Is a space to hold an extra SD card for those times where you take so many pictures that you have no more space. And you push it in. Whoops, don't do that.